Okay, here we go. The first winners only match so far. Neither player has lost, so we'll see who is going to suffer their first defeat. And we're going to do it here on Lodespire.
So Alicia playing the drone swarm deck again. Hukinator playing his Rhino deck. No surprises here.
Yeah, like between these two, I have to say, I think Hukinator's deck is favored. You know, the Rhino is just going to be quite useful overall, especially against the snipers, the drone swarms, even the Hammerhead if we see something like that come out. And then also Hukinator's got that Orca Bomber. So, I don't know, I think Hukinator's favored deck-wise here.
We also see here, like, because they both started missiles, which is unusual, there isn't that big a tempo advantage for either player on the tech switch. And then we see immediate Rhino. When the Rhino gets on the sniper, once you're on a sniper, you're going to kill one of them. And there goes one sniper model.
Yep. Yeah, even as good as Alicia is at pulling units back, didn't matter. The Shock's got enough shots on the Shocks to clear one of them. And now Alicia forced to go into a second sniper squad. That's 100 tib on snipers. That is an expensive proposition.
And you really don't want to have that one-man sniper. It does go down here, which is really good for Alicia. But now Hukinator can afford the Rhino. Now Hukinator just plays Rhino Pred. And what does Alicia do against Rhino Pred? She needs her own Pred, but she can't. Oh, wow, the block. Micro. Wow, I'm surprised by that block. That is, yeah, that was a shocking one.
Yeah, it looked like the missiles were going to get onto that bottom hex, but then it seemed like Alicia pulled them back by accident. I'm not sure if that's the case, but that's what it looked like. So it's very close there. Nearly Alicia got him on there.
And once again, we see Rhino just doing what Rhino does, absolutely dominating.
JMR.
It's such a strong mid-game unit.
It is, and especially in this situation where Alicia really has to rely on these snipers to shut down the missiles. As you said, the person who gets more value out of their missiles is generally going to be the player that comes out ahead, and right now, that's Hukinator.
Yeah. It's just about having a unit that can comfortably 1v1 the missiles. Like, it's about, if you have a vehicle that can 1v1 the missiles, it's so much easier to fight them.
It is. And here's a big problem. This Predator tank, and got a Liang drone as well from Hukinator. You don't see that too often. But, you know, nice blocking here. Again, Hukinator just pushing Alicia off the pads. Snipers couldn't get enough value, etc., etc. Hukinator just playing his game plan really well. But again, I really do think the deck, and Rhino in particular, was a big MVP here.
Yeah. And, oh, we haven't got updated here. That should not be Suzaku. That should be Hukinator versus Alicia Destiny here. Yeah, we do see Hukinator a fairly dominant performance in that one.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Hukinator, yeah, he's putting his money where his mouth is. It's nice to see that. But, you know, that's only game one, so.
Indeed. All right, so we're going to move on to game two. And
game two is going to be featured on Down the River.
Down the River, you love to see it. I put this one in because I thought we needed a couple more. We need like at least one more 2-pad map because we only had like one in there originally. And then I also think this is quite an interesting map because it's another map where actually deck matters quite a lot and you can get an advantage by playing a better deck. So yeah, I wanted to see if people would respond to Down the River at all.
Yeah, and it is, like, you look at, like, maps like Sandbar. I'm thinking of another 2-pad map. This one's a little bit different. It is a 2-pad map, which one of the issues you can have with that is a lot of stalled games. But, you know, so far, I don't think that's really been a concern. And there is enough space between the 2 pads, and they are only 3 hex pads as well, that probably won't be the case. But you're right. In terms of decks, you know, this could be a good option for Seth. I think Kane might not be bad here as well. Nod actually generally has some pretty decent choices here, but the rocks or the rivers, sorry, that block, you know, between the 2 pads is pretty interesting too. So flying, obviously, like maybe we'll see JJTs come out for the first time. And hover,
Shatterer.
Yeah, imagine we saw Shatterer. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's go game two.
All right, let's go. Here we go. And it's a non-grudge match. I think the first one we've seen, I believe. But either way, nice to see that. Both players running Oksana as well.
Both players, I also wanted to check. Both players move the Harvester at the start. Obviously a very important play on Down the River. This is another thing I wanted to make sure that people remembered to do. You got to test these people. You got to make sure they know.
That's absolutely right. There are G.O.A.T after all, so.
Pretty similar decks as well. Huck with a stealth tank instead of the Scorpion, Alicia with Flamer instead of the rifles. And then, of course, Hukinator does have laser. I think Alicia's deck is pretty favored on this one. I don't know how Huck beats Scorpion tank. Seems like a really tough unit
Like
to deal
Banshee and
with.
Scorp, right? Yeah, I agree with you. Like in the Inferno matchup, the tank can actually be very, very important. It all depends on how much you push your opponent back in the early game. Now, both players do have Inferno available to them. So as far as that goes, I mean, it's obviously going to work out the same way, but I really feel like the Scorpion tank is going to be a key unit here.
Yeah, I agree. I'm surprised to see neither player making it yet. I guess there just hasn't been enough money. But a Scorpion tank, yeah, there's one from Alicia. Scorpion is going to be really good here. I think, honestly, like, I don't think the Inferno is even going to matter. I think it's going to be really difficult for either player to get to an Inferno. I think Alicia's just going to win with
nice
Flamer
movement.
Scorpion.
That was a nice boost there from Alicia, and also the bikes at the same time to secure a position on that pad. Of course, I don't think the first missile here really means too much. Both players are really looking to get to their late game, so things will progress a lot more from here, but so far, Alicia looking pretty good as she's got the pad position.
I just don't know that either player can afford the Inferno. Like, Hukinator kind of has to. Like, he'll make it here because he's kind of forced to because of the tank. But Alicia can respond with a 30 cost Banshee and get a mad tempo out of that as well.
That's true. Yeah, and she does have these flames sitting behind, so she's now building the Banshees coming out. This will be a problem for the Inferno, even just one of them, a bit of an issue. And the lasers won't be necessarily enough to push it back. It just depends on how Alicia pairs up her units. As we see the flames now moving up, she should push them up against the lasers. We do see the Banshee try to secure that spot where the Banshee wanted to go, but the lasers moved in instead. Nice move from Hukinator. And the first drop goes from the Inferno, clearing up those flames. That could be huge here, but now Alicia's got her own Inferno out.
Yeah, and I'm surprised, honestly, to see Alicia make Inferno, because the matchup is going to be Laser Inferno from Huck's side.
The stealth tank!
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, no!
Oh, Alicia gets the trade,
does
but
get
that
the
is
trade,
rough.
though.
I don't know why Alicia made an Inferno, because doesn't she just want to make, like, lots of flamers, like, more than the Inferno can kill? Maybe that's not great, but I don't know, like, her own Inferno, just, like, killing Laser with Inferno is not great. That's not what you want to be. And that's all he's going to make.
No.
He's just going to make lasers and Infernos.
Yep.
So if you make an Inferno, the only thing you can kill with it is a laser.
Yeah, and actually, that's a big problem here with Alicia's game plan, as we talked about earlier. The fact that she doesn't run laser does free up a deck slot, but it's risky, right? Because if you fall behind, like you see here, it's very difficult for her to push back in because she has to rely heavily on Banshee. In fact, it might be time for bikes to come out too.
Yeah, and actually, those lasers, like Alicia not having laser is a big deal, because if you make laser, then Huck either has to make rifle or he has to bomb it, and you don't want to bomb a laser, which is the same reason Alicia didn't want to make an Inferno.
And Hukinator there, a very smart microplay where he only allowed 2 shots from the stealth tank to clear the Banshee. He moved it just after it would have unloaded his third, so he survived 2, which allowed it to clear a second Banshee coming out, further pushing Alicia back.
Yeah, if you allow a stealth tank to fire naturally, it'll fire 3 shots and waste the third one. If you micro it, you can kill a Banshee in 2 and then save 2 missiles for another Banshee, which, as you say, is a big deal. Man, I'm surprised by the outcome of this game, because Hukinator, I really didn't think he was going to be able to beat Tank Flame, and once he got Infernos, he just dominated this match.
Yeah, the lack of lasers really hurt Alicia here, and you know, sometimes, like most times, it helps her out because of the way she plays, but in this matchup, it really didn't.
Yeah, and that was brutal, man. Brutal. Pretty powerful 2-0 from Hukinator there, and that does put Hukinator at the top of the Swiss. Maybe Huck's right. Maybe the old players can't compete with Huck. I don't know. Maybe we'll see that.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so then I guess we're going to move on to our 0-2 matchup. So that's going to be Suzaku versus Bike Rush. So let me just grab the maps here. Perfect. Okay, all right, let's get